Hey everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we have a reaction video for us today. This is going to be Europeans were wrong about America. I was too. So let's jump in and let's check this one out.
Europeans who came to America for the World Cup are discovering that they were being lied to. As a Russian, it was a big surprise for me to learn that Europeans had a bad image of the United States to begin with. We're always told that Americans and Europeans are friends and have a lot of things in common. However, watching videos around the World Cup made me realize that it's not really the case. I
No.
guess it doesn't really matter what country you're in. You can never fully trust the media or anyone else's word.
100%. Don't trust the media, wherever you're from, always approach it with an open mind.
You're in, you
For
can
sure.
never fully trust the media or anyone else's words. There is no better way to find out the truth than to actually experience it for yourself. And watching Europeans discover America for the first time makes me so nostalgic because it brings back so many memories for me. Even though I still haven't tried a lot of things and I have a long ways to go, I still can relate to so much. And in this video, I'd love to reflect on all the culture shocks that we shared. First of all, we hear a lot of people criticizing American lifestyle, from overeating to driving cars too much.
I only got one pancake. That's one pancake. This is one pancake? Yeah, welcome to America. You know, I used
That's
to be
got to
little
be
like
fake.
you.
But
That's got to be fake.
everyone who finally tries American food understands, because in America, the only way that you can survive is to have a hell of a lot of willpower. The reason is the food is so good that you might actually get addicted to it, especially when you want to try everything for the first time. Hey, I'm still working on it. And of course, the portion sizes being so big
That's
doesn't help
huge.
at all. At first, it really confused me, and just like all the Europeans, I didn't understand why everything had to be this big. But now I just look at it as getting several meals at once. And I know that coming home from a restaurant, I'm going to have so many leftovers that I won't have to cook anything. And that is actually pretty convenient. And then, of course, the fact that Americans have so many drive-throughs and use their cars for pretty much everything. Europe, just like
I learned in another video the other day that America has drive-through ATMs. I've never seen that before. I know they have a lot of from my point of view, strange drive-throughs, weddings, stuff like that. But I've never heard of an ATM drive-through, and apparently that's quite common, very, very common. Okay,
and use their cars for pretty much everything. Europe, just like Russia, is very walkable for the most part, so it is a very big culture shock for us. But that's exactly how we get the American vibe that we see in the movies. Long and cozy road trips, huge parking lots, large trucks and SUVs. It's all so distinctly American. Speaking of movies, I hear this phrase coming from Europeans a lot. Oh, this is just like in the movies.
yeah.
And I use this phrase so much myself because it's true. But I'd like to explain it a little bit more. Americans, imagine you're watching a sci-fi movie about the future. Everything is different, and although you can still relate to the story and the characters, you can't really relate to the setting. So you end up viewing the whole thing as a fiction because nothing is like your reality. And so we do the same thing with American movies. Everything is so completely different, from landscapes, lifestyles, and settings to mindset, values, and traditions. And when we actually go to the US, we feel like we're basically in a fiction. It feels
Yeah.
so surreal. It's
I think thinking about that, I've said that before in several videos, you know, if you went to America, it would seem like a movie, you know, because everybody has a favorite movie, and I can guarantee maybe 8 out of 10 times it's going to be an American movie set in America, you know, like Home Alone or something like that, you know, if you're in that generation, you know, if you see New York, you see the Statue of Liberty, for example, you know it, you've seen it in a movie 100 times, you know, whatever. If you go and see it in real life, it's like, oh my God, it's actually real. It's there. I can see the Statue of Liberty. I can see the skyline. I know where this is, where that is, you know. If you got dropped off in New York, you might actually be able to walk your way around because some of the streets you know already, you know, which is crazy. I probably get lost in Brisbane, and I live in Brisbane, but I'd probably be able to walk around New York, which is crazy to me. Bloody crazy. But anyway,
we are
let's continue.
basically in a fiction. It feels so surreal. It's like a whole other universe. But Europeans finding out how nice Americans really are is probably my favorite culture shock. Being married to an American, of course I knew that people here are genuinely nice. But for some reason, I was still very nervous to talk to anyone in public when I first came here. But of course, every time I do, I end up feeling like, oh, how silly of me to even be scared. Americans are so friendly, and the interaction goes actually very easy. It's not the same as interacting with people back home at all. Probably because we're not used to the small talk, we don't really practice it. So we tend to have difficulties with breaking the ice. Even before coming here on my visa interview, I was so shocked. We are told that this is such a scary moment that we literally expect it to be like a very important school exam. But in reality, an American officer that I talked to was so laid back and friendly that I felt like we were friends for a long time. And of course, all my nervousness went away. Then we have a lot of Europeans talking about American freedom. I kind of thought that it was the same in Europe, but I guess it has a lot to do with American mentality. It's not just that the opportunities exist, it's the ability to see them and the courage to take them. I hear a lot of them say that in America, you feel like you can be whatever you want. And this is so true. In Russia, and I'm guessing Europe too, correct me if I'm wrong, people tend to value traditional ways of life more. By that I mean only safe jobs, nothing that involves taking risks. In America, on the other hand, even opening your own business seems way more realistic. I really love the quote from Brian Tracy's book, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. Fortunately, there are more opportunities to create wealth and personal prosperity in America today than have ever existed before in all of human history. The United States is the only country on earth that is commonly referred to as the land of dreams. In 2003, it was rated as the most entrepreneurial country in the world. This means that it is easier to start and build a successful business here than anywhere else on earth. Just how inspiring this is. In his book, he also mentions the Russian immigrants, and yes, I was very surprised he specifically was talking about Russians. He said that Russians tend to be highly successful here in the United States because coming from the system where it is very difficult to succeed. They view America as a country full of opportunities that even Americans sometimes don't notice because of being used to them so much. He calls it the law of belief and suggests that a firm belief in one's potential leads to success regardless of challenges. I am telling you all of this in hope to remind you all that American dream is real and that everything is possible. I know that now some people believe that American dream is dead, but it's not. Please don't lose hope. Believe just like we, people coming from the outside, believe. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully I could inspire you a little and remind you how lucky you are. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos about the World Cup or similar topics. And a huge thank you to all of my supporters and members of this channel. I really appreciate you helping me create more videos and keep the channel going. Once again, proving how truly kind Americans are. Even all the likes and comments help so much, and you're all so sweet and supportive. Thank you guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.
So I'll put her information in the description if you want to go check out more of her videos. But I think she's right in saying because you live in America, you may have forgotten how lucky you are. And I think the good thing about the World Cup, you know, she mentioned that in the video, that because now Americans are getting to see it through European eyes, you know, it's kind of been refocused back on them. And I think Americans are saying, do you know what? We are pretty bloody lucky in this country. You know, we do have a good system and whatever else. We can be successful. I think that's probably a good thing coming out of the World Cup, so which is fantastic. And I think more of that needs to be done. So I know there's been a lot on, you know, the tourists in America for the World Cup and how everybody's enjoying it. And I just think that's a brilliant thing. I mean, that is a positive that can have lasting effects for years, which I think is what the world needs now. So, and I think she touched on some good points in this video, especially the one about the feeling like a movie. You know, I've mentioned it before in videos as well. You know, things that you're very familiar with growing up. As I mentioned, you know, some of your favorite movies or even some of your favorite scenes from TV shows and stuff are probably most likely filmed in the US. So you know some of that. Like she said, you know it, but you don't really know it. You know what it looks like. You know very well what it looks like, but you've never been there. You've never experienced it. It is foreign, but somehow familiar at the same time. I think that's what most people are finding out about America too. So it's a kind of a weird feeling for an outsider, that's for sure. But let me know if you enjoyed that. Again, as I said, I will put her information in the description. You can go check out her channel. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Make sure you stay safe, and I'll definitely see you in the next reaction video. Oh, you're still here? You want more content? Why don't you check out my Patreon down here? You'll get plenty more content and some exclusive videos over there too. If not, why not check out this one over here?